Russell, what's his name? Russell Vought. Look, here's a video of him. I did a video on the Political Voices Substack about this too, but listen to this fucker.
And you know me, I'm a fierce advocate.
We want the bureaucrats to be traumatically affected. We want, when they wake up in the morning, we want them to not want to go to work. Because they are so...
Why are you laughing? This is Russell Vought, who is the Director of Office of Management and Budget. He is the head of the government HR right now and the architect of Project 2025. And like I was saying, you know, with this woman who's a sociopath hurting people to get off, to make herself feel better. She said like she felt this feeling of pressure all the time, and she would do acts of deviance, antisocial behavior. She stabbed a kid one time. She would break into people's houses and just sit there because it was the only thing that made her feel normal. And this is what we're dealing with. These are people that get off on hurting other human beings, and they shouldn't be anywhere near the halls of power. And, you know, to say this fucking guy, this guy, Russell Vought, to stand there and say he wants the American people who happen to work in government to be traumatized. He wants them not to be, not to want to go to work. When they wake up, they dread going to work. How sick is that? And the audience laughs. Let's listen to that again.
We want the bureaucrats to be traumatically affected. We want, when they wake up in the morning, we want them to not want to go to work. Because they are increasingly viewed as the villains. We want their funding to be shut down so that the EPA can't do. We want the bureaucrats to be traumatically affected. We want, when they wake up in the morning, we want them to not want to go to work. Because they are increasingly viewed as the villains. We want their funding to be shut down so that the EPA can't do all of the rules against our energy industry because they have no...
Against the energy industry, like protecting the environment, protecting our commons so we can have clean, beautiful air, as Trump would say. Beautiful, clean air. Beautiful drinking water, clean, beautiful water. I want it all. You see, judge me by what I say, not by what I do. That's the Republican mantra. That's it. And, of course, do as I say, not as I do, because they're just so full of shit. But just judge me by my words, not my actions. Their actions speak volumes. You know, Russell Vought, who wants career civil servants to be traumatized, is now the head of the HR, basically, the government's HR. Increasingly viewed as the villains. And of course, that's a projection. People who protect the environment are not the villains. They're the heroes here. People like the executives in the oil industry who knew for decades that oil, that their business was killing the earth. They're the villains. They're the ones. They had the research. They knew that climate change is real, that their actions were making the whole earth uninhabitable. But they said, let's keep it going a little bit longer. Leave this mess for our children and our children's children. Let them burn. Let them fuck them. Fuck them. I got mine. As long as I got mine. And he's saying, He wants the EPA to be the people who work at the EPA to protect the Purple Mountain's majesty, right? The fruited plain. America the Beautiful. They want the people who protect that to be traumatized, to hate their job, to want to kill themselves, to be to have everybody think they're the villains. This is what Republicans have done to our country. They have turned our country into a shithole. Just as they are. Just like they are. They've turned America, into what they are inside. And like I said, America is just too decent for them. They couldn't stand it. All those highfalutin ideals about the general welfare and e pluribus unum and, forget it. They can't handle that. That was just too big. They want everyone to want to kill themselves. And I'm thinking, I was watching something, I don't know, and they were in Central Park. And I thought, well, wow, look at that. Central Park, what a beautiful place in the middle of this big city. What a forward-thinking thing, right? What a forward-thinking idea. And if Republicans had their way, of course, or conservatives, or these greed-centered ghouls like Russell Vought, it would be completely developed now. It wouldn't be there for people to enjoy. Right? Or any other national park. That's why they want to open up federal lands to drilling. You got to drill, baby, drill, right? Get to that black gold. It's not enough. The amount of drilling we're doing in the United States. Drill offshore. Drill right in the middle of breeding grounds or migrant grounds or, where other species need to live. Just fuck it up. Make sure you drill and spill and drill and fuck it until it's, you've wasted it all. You got to get to that black gold. Because it's not enough that we're drilling more than any other oil-producing nation, drilling so much that we're a net exporter of oil. We got to drill more. We got to open up those public lands. Fuck Yosemite. Fuck all those beautiful national parks. Just open it up and rape it. Grab it by the pussy. There'll be no consequences. Absolutely unbelievable. But that's what they're talking about. And they have, because, when I was thinking about Central Park, well, because I didn't know the whole history. Frederick Law Olmsted, in collaboration with Calvert Vaux, V-A-U-X, designed Central Park in New York City. Their design, known as Green Sward Plan, won a design competition in 1858. Olmsted and Vaux continued their partnership to design Prospect Park in Brooklyn and other projects, but Central Park is considered a masterpiece of landscape and architecture, influenced the development of urban parks nationwide. Let's see. I just want to find this out. Who said, let's see. They... How do you ask this question? Who came up with the whole plan? Not to develop. Who came up with... I never learned this. See? Whole Central Park idea? It must be interesting. Yeah, I know that. The concept gained widespread support Two men instrumental in promoting the concept of a substantial green space in New York City to provide a natural retreat for the rapidly growing populace. They believed a large public park would help reduce class tensions and improve the quality of life for all working class citizens. Fuck them. They let them feel stressed and not want to go to work. Traumatize them. The concept gained widespread support over time, including from civic leaders and elite circles. In 1851, Mayor Ambrose Kingsland officially proposed the creation of a new large park. It led to New York State Legislature passing the Central Park Act in 1853 and authorizing the purchase of the land that would become Central Park. Okay. But think about it. It's true. There's no good thing. They had some forward-thinking ideas. They were thinking about the future. They were thinking about the best interests of all, not just who the rich could develop, make some more money. All right, Tara Jr., fuck. And what do the Republicans do? Do they ever set us up for success? And that's the other thing when they go after the Department of Education. What are you doing? Setting us up for failure. Like as if the other countries of the world are not going to educate their populace. But here we are. Here. What? Learning that Jesus rode a dinosaur. The earth is 3,000 years old. They don't want those government schools teaching a curriculum that we all have to learn. There's supposed to be basic curriculum. That's another thing that the Republicans are against, as you know. That's been going on for years, though. Remember when they were railing against the Obama standards? What was that? There was some tests that kids had to take, and the Republicans were flipping out because there was a standard of topics, subjects that kids had to learn in this Obama test, and they were all railing against it. How? Because that's indoctrinating our youth. You got to leave the indoctrination to the church and the local yokels who want to teach people that bullshit, who want to set us up for failure. They want to relitigate the Stokes, the monkey trial, right? That is the truth. I can't even believe where we're living. And I saw JD in the chat earlier. And is he still here? Because I was very envious. Once again. JD's from England, for those who don't know. But listen to what we're up against.
When they wake up in the morning, we want them to not want to go to work. Because they are increasingly viewed as the villains. We want their funding to be shut down so that the EPA can't do all of the rules against our energy industry because they have no bandwidth financially to do so. We want to put them in trauma.
Who invited him to speak? We want to put him in trauma. And look at the poster behind the name of the group who's laughing. It's called the Center for Renewing America. What are you're renewing her to what? You're not renewing America. You're dragging her into the sewer. You're dragging her into your sociopathic dreams. Yeah, suicide rates go up under conservative government. So do death by despair. And that's what I was thinking today, that here we go. I wonder how many people are going to end up committing suicide in this shithole country, right?